Welcome to the Learn to RV podcast, where every mile is a lesson and every stop is an adventure.
Hey guys, we're back with the Learn to RV podcast. So today's episode is a little bit different. I guess I should say tonight's episode, but it'll air during the day. You can't see that we're all sitting in the dark, but if you're watching on YouTube, you can. But in this special episode, we're going to be talking about FRVA. And if you don't know what that is, it stands for Family RV Association. And it's formerly FMCA, which is Family Motor Coach Association. We're going to talk a little bit tonight about the history of what that looked like and everything. But we're also going to bring in a guy that's brand new or has been around a very long time in FRVA. And so Doug Uhlenbrock will be joining us sometime during this episode. And then we have a special guest coming on later during the episode. So we're super excited. We're going to sit down tonight with myself, Jennifer, and we have tonight a special guest. This is Lisa. Lisa's a good friend of mine, Lisa Anderson, and of course, Tasha and Jenn. And we all play a very important role in what's happening next in a specific item that we're going to announce tonight. And so I'm very excited about all of this. So whether you're a longtime FMCA member, a new RVer, have no idea what FRVA is, which is what we're going to be talking about. Maybe you're just dreaming of life on the road. This episode hopefully will leave you inspired and informed and ready to roll. So let's go back to what is FMCA. Does anybody know the history of FMCA?
Well, FMCA used to stand for Family Motor Coach Association. And a lot of people actually thought you had to have a drivable in order to be a part of it. We learned
for a long
pretty
time.
early.
And you did.
For a long time,
For a
yes.
long time.
We learned pretty early in our years that we could get on FMCA without a drivable. We started with a travel trailer. My parents were FMCA members, and so they had told us about FMCA. And so we had joined many, many moons ago under that. But that's kind of what I know about its history. I haven't dived in too much, but I'm learning more every day.
Yeah. So FMCA rebranded last year. And so they wanted to make it more family friendly. And they've done that to a certain degree. And so in 2017, they actually entered the towables into the equation, but nobody knew it. And so that's one of the things that most people just had no idea. And so we were FMCA members back then. And then it was kind of a debacle. But anyway, somebody canceled our membership on us, and then I got it back, but I got back a different number. Yeah. So, but I didn't let it lapse necessarily. But Family RV Association has lots of benefits to it. So I actually pulled out my member benefits guide. And so I was going to talk a little bit about some of these. And so if you've never heard of the benefits of FMCA or FRVA, there's some new things out there and some old things out there. So there is a membership fee. And so it's like any club, you have to join to be a part of the community. And so there is a membership fee of now $99 a year. And it's worth its weight in gold if you're going to use it. It's like anything, right? And so there's some exclusive savings and stuff that's bundled into that. But there's also some programs that are in it that a lot of people don't have any idea are there. And so one of those items is called FRVA Assist. It's the Assist program. And what it is, and Lisa, I'd love for you to talk a little bit about this because you've actually used it, have you not?
No, I haven't used it, though we came very close in California about 4 years ago. What FRVA Assist is that if you're stranded because of a medical event or something like that in one state, my husband went into the hospital in California. And so if we had to transport him or we needed to get home or I needed to get home, that FRVA Assist brings a driver to you who will drive the RV to your house. And if you're in it, you can be in it, or you may be traveling with the person that needs to be transported in a different way. But that's really what it is. And it's worth its weight in gold. When you have your primary driver in the hospital with blood clots, you want to know what's happening. So I did a lot of research at that time, what I would need to know if we had to transport him. But we did not have to use it.
Because you drive too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And that's super important as well. You also get newsletters. You can get an online magazine. And there's a lot of really helpful articles in that. So whether you get it digitally or you have it delivered to your home, and they're advocates for protecting RVers' rights. And they're actually one of the oldest clubs in the industry. And so I think they may actually be the oldest club in the industry. They have some social media channels and some great ways to get connected. So there's forums, but there's also rallies. And I mean, FRVA rallies are kind of a different kind of rally. And so I know Lisa and I have done quite a few of them together. And, some of the things that make the rallies different at FRVA are the fact that there's lots of education. So there's not just vendors there, and it's not just a hangout rally. Like Perry, Georgia, in the spring will boast anywhere between 1,000 to 1,500 RVs, and so there'll be all sorts of education there. And Lisa, what you may not know is Doug Eulenbrock has set aside 25 spaces for our new family chapter. Now, there's a catch. Jen, do you remember the catch?
No, I don't.
We
We gotta
have
fill
to
it by a certain
sell.
time.
Yeah, we have to sell all those slots by January 2nd. So we have 6
Okay.
weeks to fill those slots. And so
Yes.
this is at the point in which in this episode, I'm going to announce that our paperwork is ready to go to Cincinnati, and we're going to introduce the Rolling Roots family chapter. Now,
Yay!
this was born over a conversation between Lisa and her husband, Bill, and myself, I think long before Redmond, Oregon, but I wore Redmond, Oregon just because of it.
It was a couple of years previous to that, I believe.
Yeah, well, our kids were still all little and we were all still
Yes.
traveling. And so, but Lisa, her heart is the same as mine. It's committed to the community. And so she has jumped on and said, hey, I'll be your vice president, but I don't want to be president. So
And I refuse to be treasurer because I don't want to handle the money.
yeah, so Rolling Roots is rolling out real soon. So the first thing I want to tell you is this is not just for full timers. This is for everybody. And so I think that the best way forward to bring families back to FRVA is to invite them. So if you're a grandparent traveling with your grandkids in the summer or the spring, you can totally join this chapter. If you're a couple that only travels twice a year, you can join this chapter. If you're a homeschool family that owns an RV and goes out and travels from time to time, you too can. Are you guys sensing a theme here? Join this
Yeah.
chapter.
Join
If
us
you're-
for anybody with kids.
If you're a full timer and you're out traveling, this chapter is also for you. Now, that's not to say that there aren't other clubs that aren't great fits for your family. But if you don't happen to be in one of the areas or you're going to an event with FRVA, because there are a lot of great reasons to join the club, then I want you to have a place there too. And so the only way that we can change that is from within. I recently had a friend who I invited to be an FRVA member, and she ran into a group of people at a rally, probably a small rally in Texas. And those people were very welcoming to her when she met them. But then when she walked in with her teenage boys, they kind of turned the other cheek. And so we are up against I won't say a losing battle. I've been told that it's a losing battle, but the reality is I think this is a community worth investing in. And these 3 ladies wouldn't be sitting here with me if they didn't believe that too. So, but the Rolling Roots family chapter is going to be free for the first year of its existence. So once you join FRVA, you can join the Rolling Roots family chapter at no additional cost to you. And so how you do that, I'm not really sure. You tell people in Cincinnati you want to get connected, and then we can invite you to the Facebook group for Rolling Roots. I have all these fun little vinyls. And I had one lady that went by me and she looked at me and she goes, oh, that's so cute at gear. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I had other people come up to me and say, you know what? Are you going to be in Perry with this group? And I was like, well, yeah. She's like, well, I would love to come teach a painting class. And I have her phone number. And so
Cool.
I'm like, yeah. So that's the type of people that we need. She's like, I don't have grandkids anymore. I mean, I have them, but they're grown-ups. And so when I used to come on the road, I used to bring my grandkids and my kids on the road, but they've all grown up. And so I don't, and she was probably in her 80s, but she wants to come teach a painting class. And so we'll see if she's still in it, by the time we get to Perry. But, that's a great way to do it. And then there's the 250th birthday celebration, whatever that looks like for that. And I don't know. I want to give it a shot. And these girls are at least willing to try with me. So, all right. So let's go to some of the extra stuff that you can get. So FMCA or FRVA has insurance now too. Does any one of you have the FRVA insurance? Nope. No. Okay,
No.
so we can't talk about it. Doug talks a little bit about it when we get to talk to him later. There is pet insurance also with an FRVA benefit. You have to pay extra for some of these services. Or RV overnights. Do any of you have an RV overnights membership?
I do.
I do.
Yay!
I do not.
So RV overnights, my friend Rob owns RV overnights, and he's promised special pricing just to FRVA members forever. I think it's like $29 a year for life. It's crazy. He's not going to
Nice.
raise the prices for FRVA members. And so
Nice.
RV Roofing Solutions has a commitment to FRVA as well. So there's companies that have partnerships with FRVA. You can have Tech Connect. Anybody part of the Tech Connect program? I'm not. I have Starlink, so we'd have to find somebody that has Tech Connect.
Yeah, we looked at it, but no, we went with Starlink. So
And I know Protang has a 10% off for FRVA members, and if you know anything about Protang, that's a pricey item. And so a
But
lot
well
of
worth
those
it.
items are 100%. I have one. I don't know. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
The Family RV Association Campground in Cincinnati, Ohio. Sites are discounted there as well. And there's lots of member deals. Clean Tank, RV Life Pro, RV Marketplace, Brighter Solar. There's a lot of them that actually have bonus money going to it.
did it? I have not looked at the latest paperwork. Do we still have the tire discount?
We do. We have the tire
That's
discount.
what I thought.
So and those are they actually have well, according to Bob at Gear, so the vice president of FRVA was at Gear, and he said they're actually rolling out a new program in 2026 for towables too. It's not just going to be for the motorhomes, but motorhomes have a very significant savings through Michelin. You have to buy the tires, I think. Have you bought tires through them? Okay, you want to talk?
We looked at it. We did not, but you have to buy them. You have to be in a certain, you have to be able to if you're traveling, gauge, where you're going to be, and they'll send the tires to a shop of your choice type
My
thing.
parents actually
And I
just
say
went
of
through
your
that.
choice.
They just replaced.
I mean, they have a list of people within that city or something like that.
Yeah.
So have your parents used the tire discount?
Yes, they did. They just recently had to
Okay.
change 2 of their tires on their motorhome, and so they went through that process, and they had to find the place to do it, which there was one about 45 minutes away from where they were staying at least, so it wasn't too bad.
I expect we may be using it in about 18 months when we launch our 18-year-old.
So if you don't know, Lisa is sitting still in a place in the country so that their child can go to beauty school, right? Is it a beauty
Yep.
school or is it a
It's called just
cosmetology?
cosmetology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're so seasons are funny, for all of us when we travel, and so you do what you have to do for your family. But that being said, that's why I don't want this chapter to be just for one type of RVer. And so the heart behind this is really there. We have a 2-year term, and once the 2 years is up, anybody that has a new idea that wants to run with it, will happily hand over the reins as our kids grow up and graduate. But at the same time, we feel like there's value in this community to have a family chapter that is dedicated to events. So for Perry and for the summer, that means we have to sell 25 spaces. And so if we don't sell 25 spaces, then, those go back into the general population for tickets because they are full hookup sites, which is hard to come by in Perry. And so that is a big deal. They are not 50 amp because there's so many limited 50 amps there. They are 30 amp full hookup sites, but they are full hookup sites. And when Doug told me I could have them, I was shocked, I won't lie, because I feel like families for years have been treated as second-class citizens. So I feel like the families are actually being given a place where they see the value in all of us being part of that. So if all goes well, Tasha, Jen, and I will be there because at Gear, Barbara asked me if we would be the speakers for the ladies' luncheon.
Yay.
Yay.
That's going to be exciting.
Yep. So you'll get to meet Tasha and Jen. And I'd say we drag Lisa in, but she won't come. But
Next year, right?
maybe.
Maybe.
So, and then this summer there's a great one. So, if you're not on the road with your family full time like we are, there's other events that happen throughout the year. So, what's neat about FRVA is the way it's designed is not designed for just one section of the country. So there's the international section, which is what we're going under so that we can have a rally or an event anywhere in the country we want to. But we could go under the Southeast area, which is where I just was. We could go under the Pacific area, which is also an option. There are different areas for different parts of the country. Do you belong to any chapters, Lisa, until today?
No, we came very close to there's a chapter here in Oklahoma, but we're very specific to this area. And so it wasn't going to work. And they had some rules where you had to be able to attend so many meetings.
And we're not going to have those rules. So we're gonna shake up FRVA in a way that nobody's shook it up before. So and the meetings for us will be on Zoom. If we decide to have a chapter meeting and you all wanted to get together, we could just host it in Zoom. It's not a big deal. I think I can have like 300 participants. So if the chapter gets bigger than that, then we have to rethink that whole thing. But because I pay for Zoom. But it's a great way to get connected. So without further ado, I'd love to introduce Doug and let him give us a little insight of where FRVA is going and kind of the heart of it. And Doug was just elected as the new person in charge of FRVA unanimously by the executive board. There's a little bit of pomp and circumstance and like just a progression of presidents and stuff in FRVA that's a little bit different. But ultimately, it's a member-run community. So we're going to break away and talk to Doug about that. So we are here today with Doug Uhlenbrock. Is that how we say that?
Uhlenbrock.
Uhlenbrock.
Yes.
Okay. And I want to say congratulations to start with.
Well, thank you very
Because
much.
you're the new CEO of FRVA.
Well, executive director. We changed the CEO back to executive director, so that's my actual title.
Nice. Okay. We're talking about FRVA in this episode that's coming up on Learn to RV, the podcast. And so we want to give everybody an idea of what's coming for FRVA because it's kind of changing gears, right?
A little bit. We are for years and years and years. We were a Family Motor Coach Association, which was a motorhome owners association, and all we catered to was the motorhome community. A couple of years ago, we decided to have to invite those who in a towable market to join us. We while we did that, we didn't really change our name and make the identification clear. And folks still, believe that we were just a motor homeowners association. So within the last year, we changed the Family RV Association to more clearly reflect all of our membership and all the folks that we welcome into our association.
Yeah. And I can't tell you how many people have no idea that you guys started allowing towables in 2017. But it's a neat organization, and it's one of the oldest in the industry.
Yeah, we got started in 1963. A group of folks went up to Maine to watch an eclipse, and they had house car people from across the country join them, and that's how it got started. They went to watch this eclipse. They kind of got together and say, "Hey, maybe we should make a group out of this." So it started with a small number of people, but within the first few years, they started grabbing people here and there. From around the country who had these house-made RVs that weren't production RVs at the time. These were all buses and trucks and things like that that were converted. Milk trucks, things like that were converted to RVs. And then as it grew and grew and grew, the industry as well started to grow, and you started to have the manufacturers pop up. So we've been part of it since then. We are the oldest, I believe, RV Owners Association in the country, probably in the world. And we're very proud of our history and our heritage. But as you were talking about a second ago, things change, and we needed to decide how we want it to be. Do we want to be motor owners association only, or an RV association? And we chose to go RV association, which I think was a great decision. Um, and right now we are in the process, as you mentioned before, we probably didn't do a very good job letting folks know that all RVs are welcome with us. So that is a challenge that we've been facing recently, and it's one of the biggest challenges I have as executive director, is getting the word out and making sure folks know we would love for them to join us. And we have, one of the things that we're going to be embarking on here is also, making sure that when an RV, a towable RV owner joins us, that we have the things that they need. It's not a lot of the motorhome and towable RV things are the same, but there are some differences that we need to make sure that we're accommodating them and the needs that they have.
Well, and yeah, and you and I are working hand in hand. I'm working on a chapter. My paperwork is right here in an envelope, ready to go to Cincinnati. So we are like days away from you receiving this. And so the Rolling Roots family chapter is in place. There are 4 officers in it. And so we are ready and coming to Perry. So 3 out of 4 of us will be there. So you already set aside some sites for us.
Yes, we do.
But
We
we have
actually
to sell them by January.
we actually have at least one of your participants, and I'm not sure if it's one of the officers, but we did get some interest in that. So we have at least one of you signed up, and I'm sure that that number is going to grow considerably over the next month.
Yeah, well, we're really excited to be part of it. So same great community, hold no direction, and we're excited about where that's going. What's happening in Perry?
Well, this is going to be our Changes in Latitudes convention. We're going to be playing off the kind of the Jimmy Buffett feel theme, that type of thing. A lot of beach type things. Now, Perry, Georgia isn't close to a beach. Not a whole lot of sand there. It's mostly red clay. But we're going to turn it into that type of play. The atmosphere is going to be laid back, beach type fun with a lot of the music, a lot of the feel of that. We're going to encourage folks to get their flamingos out and dress up their RVs with palm trees and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully, have some sand imported so we can put our feet in the sand. Hopefully, the weather isn't in the 30s or 40s. We want folks to be dressed for the occasion with the Hawaiian shirts and all that kind of stuff. And we're gonna have a great time. We've got the number one Jimmy Buffett tribute band coming in to play with us. We've got an incredible Eagles tribute band coming in. So those are kind of the highlights of the entertainment. There'll be other stuff as well. We're going to go downtown as we did last year into the city of Perry, downtown Perry, and have a night of fun down there. Obviously, the exhibit hall is going to be filled with all of our commercial members who they come to Perry all the time. I mean, they're going to be there in Perry. If you need to talk to somebody about your RV, things you might need, things you might want, that's the place to be, to talk to people directly. You're not buying it online. You're not talking to people over the phone. You're talking to them directly about your needs. That's always, I know you're there, Jennifer. We certainly appreciate that, and all of our vendors who come, they do a great service, and that's one of the reasons that a lot of folks come to these shows. We also will have our seminar lineup, 100 strong, if not more, for folks where they can learn about the industry, learn about their RVs, learn about the lifestyle, all those types of things. We'll have, a number of activities and fun things for folks to do. So it's always my kind of my goal is to wear folks out. I don't want them going home and with a lot of energy. I want them tired, barely able to drive out of the place by the time we're done.
Well, and I want to add, we're hoping to have a kids camp there.
Yes.
So the advantage to a camp is not just for families, but it's for grandparents that maybe even bring their grandkids. And so people that are, and this will be easier next summer when we do the 250th, because everybody will be out of school and maybe there'll be even more spaces. But we'll have those spaces for any family, no matter what that's defined as.
Yeah.
So the other thing that I would like to point out is one of the things we'd love to do is have people that maybe don't have kids at home anymore that want to help with an art class or something like that. So the Rolling Roots chapter isn't just for families with minor children. Anybody can join it.
Yeah, we'll certainly help you out as far as encouraging folks like that. I know we have a lot of members who have talents, who have abilities, who have interest in doing just like you said. So I don't think you'll have any problem finding those types of volunteers, I guess, if you want to call them that, instructors to help out.
That's awesome. Well, we're very excited about where FRVA is headed
Yes.
and where the direction is it's going. I think that Paul and Bob are doing a great job, and all the officers across the country. One of the things that makes this such a special community is it's led by the RVers themselves. Can you talk a little bit about why that's done that way?
Well, it's the way FRVA was set up as a member-owned association, so it makes sense for the members to be the leadership. And that we have our executive board, we have our four main officers, and then we have our executive board, which are representatives from the 10 different areas across the country. And they we have committees as well. We have a governing board as well. So there is a lot of the direction of the association is completely handled by the membership. They are members getting their information from other members and doing the things that they believe as representatives of all the membership that they want and need. Certain things, not everybody's going to agree, just like in any kind of politics or anything. Not everybody's going to be happy about everything. But the idea is to provide the services, to provide the chapters, the camaraderie, the events, all the things that, the majority of our members will enjoy and take advantage of.
And then if somebody has never heard of FRVA before, what would you say is the biggest reason to join them?
Oh my gosh. And that's something, quite honestly, that's something we're going to have a marketing meeting next week. And one of the things that I've always, wondered is, and I think everybody will give you a different answer, is what is our thing? Because we have so many things that we provide. The member benefits is one. People looked at that, when they join, the Arch program that we have, our medical evacuation program, and all the roadside rescue, the insurance, all those types of benefits that we offer RVers that are, they might not be able to find anywhere else. And then you go and talk about the events. So we have multiple events. We have two big conventions. We have area rallies scattered throughout the country. And we have chapters where there's hundreds of those having their own events and their own gatherings. We have the education arm, which is unlike anything else that other groups have. We have so much knowledge, not only written knowledge, we have our magazine that's been going on forever. I mean, it's one of the best RV publications you can find anywhere. So we have that going on, which has tons of information and years of publication with all the information there. Plus, we have so many members who have great, you know, great ideas. They have such knowledge that we can tap into. I'm sure you've been at campgrounds and met people like that who have great suggestions for you or ways to fix things or different things. And you guys probably do the same with people that you meet. You help them out. So that's one of the great things about RVing, and one of the great things about Family RV Association is the members connect. They have that camaraderie and they're willing to help. I can promise you, if you're at a campground and you have a problem and there's another person there who has an oval, they're going to come help you out. I don't have any doubt. I trust, that's the way with the majority of our membership. And then there's so many other facets to what we do here. So saying one thing is almost impossible. So it's a combination of all these different things that attracts our members. And once we get them in and they start realizing all these things that are kind of packaged together, they really understand what it means to be part of the association.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Doug, for taking the time today.
Sure, anytime.
And we appreciate you, and we'll see you in Perry.
Absolutely. I'm guessing I'll be talking to you before that time or two.
I think so.
Have a great day.
Well, that was really helpful listening to Doug, and I'm so excited that I got the chance to sit down and interview him. One of the things that we get to do is travel and see all the people, but Doug took time out of his busy Cincinnati life up there as he's reforming and getting ready to put all the pieces together for Perry for us, and not just us, for everybody. So there's one of us sitting here that is probably one of the newer members of FRVA because they just joined in Hershey.
Hershey. Yeah. Yeah. It was at Hershey, and it was like, I don't want to say it was like the last day of Hershey, but it was the last day of Hershey because um not only did we go and catch them like kind of near the end as they were getting ready to start tearing things down, but I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but we may have gotten a few extra goodies because we got there at the end. So like we both got shirts for free.
I
They
was
gave
gonna
us
say,
like
did you get the free T-shirt?
yes, I did. Yes, I did. And anyone who knows me knows that I
First, she
love
needs
a
another
good
T-shirt.
T-shirt. I that's what it's so funny. The other day, Rosewood was like, "If you could have any clothes be your like, what is your go-to like inner style?" And I was like, "Kid, you're looking at it like, give me a T-shirt with a brand or a band, and I'm set." So yeah, when they handed me that T-shirt, I
I
was
mean, I
like,
haven't even met you in person, and I know that.
the angels were
Okay, so
singing.
so I'm not always a t-shirt person, but I'm always in shorts. So there you go.
See,
Ah,
like everybody does their
you're one of
thing.
those people that no matter how cold, you're in shorts.
Yep, pretty much.
The next person that we got to sit down with, it was actually a couple, and I met them in Perry, Georgia, in real life, and you might know them better from the hit TV show RV There Yet. And so Kevin and Patrice McCabe took some time out of their very busy schedule to sit down with us and talk about FRVA and why they're partnering with us. All right, so let's talk about Family RV Association, formerly FMCA. When we met you at the 110th convention, we didn't really know a lot about you, but what I loved about you guys was the fact that you were so engaging. You weren't just some movie star out there that people couldn't talk to. And I watched people just last week in Myrtle Beach kind of not really know who you are, and it surprised me. But what didn't surprise me was how warm and welcoming you are. And so FRVA needs a rebrand, and we're all here for whatever that looks like. But they've actually partnered with you guys in some way to help that. So, what is your role in that change within a Family RV Association?
Well, I think our FMCA, the old name, I mean, it's the oldest motor coach club in the country, and we do not want to see it go away. And so when we found Family RV Association, their new name, and we found out that they started as motorhome or motor coaches only. And so we found out last year when we met them that they are now trailers, fifth wheels, Class A, Class B, Class C, tents, whatever. They're inviting everybody to be part of the club. That was a message that we wanted to tell. And so we met Doug and we met Paul, we met Bob, all the executive board there. And we loved it that it was also run by the members. It wasn't a corporation. It was a volunteer-based run by the members. And so that message resonated with us. And so we said, we wanted to produce a show at our first. So we joined and we filmed an episode of our first time at the event, the international event in Perry, Georgia, when we met you. And so that was our first time going to an event as members. And it was just a blast. And like Patrice said, our favorite part is our people. I mean, that's my favorite part of this job, is meeting wonderful people across this country. And certainly of the 50,000 plus or whatever the number is of members these days, it's amazing to meet people each and every time we go to an event.
For us too, because we are small business, we both come from small business families. My parents owned a franchise in Lincoln, Nebraska, a muffler shop. His dad parents had a travel agency in Cocoa Beach. But it's really supporting those American companies. You know, we work with Blue Ox, which is flat towing. They've been around for 100 years, 4th generation family owned. Starbright, our cleaning products, you know, they're made in Montgomery, Alabama. They've been around for almost 55 years now. It's finding those products and those companies. So Family RV Association, being around since 1963, starting in New Hampshire or Vermont with just 12 RVers, you know, and growing to what they are. They provide, you know, roadside assistance, insurance, emergency benefits, tons of education for first timers to experienced people, you know, and then bringing the vendors and the manufacturers together at the international events. So for us, it was something that we would like to see evolve with the new RVers. You know, get those families in there. We don't currently see a lot of families with children coming in and participating. So our job, and we take it very seriously, is we want to inspire people to go RV, go enjoy this country, but also come together as a community, because, you know, when we're all out on the road and at a campground, RVers, we all like each other, you know. You can walk around in your pajamas holding a bag of dog poo and still make friends.
Absolutely. And what, you know, we talked briefly about it. You know, I have been for 2 years trying to start a chapter within FRVA called the Rolling Roots Family Chapter.
Love that.
I do have all the signatures. And so there's a little bit of pomp and circumstance within FRVA, but there's also getting past the idea that it is not just a retirees club. And
Yeah.
so one of the challenges is I have actually been a member since 2017 when they started allowing towables. Did you know it's been that long?
Yeah.
We did.
So-
and that was when he threw out the idea after we started working with him. He's like, why haven't you told this story? So it was his idea to produce an episode to tell that. That was really the first national stage of them telling that, because we
Yep.
were shocked to learn that the name changed in 2017.
Yep.
Right. And so we've been a member, but you know, most of the rallies we go to, there's nothing for the kids. You said you were planning to start a chapter. Is that true?
Well, we're bringing geocache. So we were going to start a geocache, and I think that's good for families too. Certainly for grandkids and the kids, is we're bringing the geocache in. If you don't know what geocache is a smartphone GPS scavenger hunt. So that's one of them. We're hoping to start that chapter in Perry. Create the banner. We're going to hopefully have Jeff come down from Seattle and geocache to kind of start off in March this new chapter. But I know you had mentioned doing an RV There Yet TV chapter.
Oh.
No, I think Jennifer had said that.
Yeah. I mean, I think you could do a chapter for that too. I mean, I think that those things are all such neat aspects. And what's neat about all the chapters is you can join more than one. So like I can run Road Schooling Resources, but we can join a geocaching chapter. We can join a chapter. Was there a ham radio chapter there this week out in Gear?
I think I heard that. Yeah.
So while that may not be my jam, somebody else might be interested in that. So you don't have to be a ham radio operator to join that. And other people are looking for things that are closer to home. So I know there's chapters for specific locations. And so there's different chapters for different things. You know, so getting connected is the part of that community that I preach on all the time. And, I know that's, it's just Frank calls this my heart project because it doesn't make a lot of money yet. But, at this point, the goal is to just keep connecting people. And I'm a connector by nature.
I love that you have the family chapter. I love that is something that, I feel like FRVA really needs to get behind and help, promoting and recruiting. And same with us. We met some first timers this past week in South Carolina who are our age, Gen Xers, proud to be a Gen Xer. But yeah.
Me
And
too.
so and the same, they were couples. One was traveling with an adult child as well. And, it was a community that we all, we found each other, in that area. So I'd love for that to be more,
Yep. 100%. And I think that there's lots of ideas that a lot of us have. We don't want to take away, we want to keep in all the important stuff, but sometimes it's just evolving. Um, all right. So yeah, let's talk about influencers in this community. And so this is one thing that we talked about this past week that is really on my heart. And what would you say to influencers today? There's lots of them out there. There's tons of them. They're now starting to host their own rallies. Brands are starting to host their own rallies. It used to be everybody would go to FRVA. Didn't matter what brand it was. You just had to have a motorhome. And so now that it's everybody can go, whether it's a towable or a fifth wheel or a travel trailer or a school bus, what would you say to those influencers that want to host their own rallies? How would you encourage them to start a chapter within FRVA?
Well, I think it's the audience. I mean, influencers are all about gaining that audience and certainly creating an audience for what they do and the content they create. So this is a ready-made audience. They are, and that's really what they've embraced us. Now, you said a lot of people don't know about us because we're kind of TV folks. We're not that online like the influencers are. So I think people are slowly finding us, where I think everybody's really keyed in on the YouTube audience. And so you've got 50,000 plus people. There'll be maybe 4,000 people in Perry, Georgia. I mean, what a way to reach out to 4,000 more people for your audience. So for influencers, that's really what they're looking for, is just an audience to watch their videos and engage with their content. So that's really what we get out of it. I know that. It's fantastic.
And I think the two international events that FRVA puts on, Perry, Georgia, and then they're going to Sedalia, Missouri in July. What's unique about that is that it is open to the public. They have a trade show or convention where vendors from around the country that are RV related, some of them may not be, but it's open to that public on specific days, so they can come in and check it out. And like Kevin said, it's an opportunity for those influencers to reach some more eyeballs and audience. And I think they would be, furthering that mouthpiece of what Family RV Association is.
Agreed. And not all influencers are, some of them are just couples. I think that that's what makes it such a unique situation. Stan Cromlish, I know that he is, just a single guy, solo, traveling in his Tiffin. And I actually met him in Rock Springs out at the Tiffin rally this past summer. So, I mean, and he's also an FRVA member. So community is everywhere. It's not just at an FRVA rally. And the bit deeper you get into those layers, the more you understand that. So you guys will be in Perry with us.
Yep.
Hopefully we can talk you into coming to our booth at the Tampa Super Show for at least a day. And so you'll want to check out the Learn to RV page and join that. The whole episode of this will air free on Patreon, for our free subscribers on Patreon. So you don't have to pay to see them. And
Right.
so we want to make sure that everybody gets to see it. Where can they find you online? Can you drop your link for us so we can make sure it's in the show notes?
Yeah, just go to rvthereyet.tv.com or search RV There Yet TV. We come up on, Amazon Prime, Roku, YouTube. It's all out there. Just search RV There Yet TV.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. And the cooking show, what was that one again?
RVE.
And in December, Jennifer, and I know this is going to air in between, but we got a special broadcast. We're doing our Christmas special like you guys are. And we're unveiling some really big news December 10th. So if you can put this in there to give us a little pop, that'd be great.
Absolutely. This is actually going to be airing like in 2 weeks. So, because
Perfect.
we have to fill those spaces for the FRVA event, or what happens to those spaces is they go back into general population. And when that happens, all of the people that didn't want to park with kids are going to be parking with the kids that are registered.
Well, let's
Well,
say
yeah.
for all the families out there, you got to join the FRVA Family Jennifer's chapter. I'm telling you, you'll have a blast. We're going to geocache. We got lots of stuff to do in Perry and March for the
And
kids.
come hang out with us in the Discovery Zone, which is the Georgia Grown building. Jennifer, we will have a space for the kids. You know,
Awesome.
let's pack it with kids because that's what we want. I'll even do a kids cooking class. I would
That
love,
would be awesome.
yeah,
That would
absolutely.
be fantastic. Thanks so much, guys. We appreciate you. Well, that was fun. So this is really cool. Did you guys catch that? Kevin is going to do a full geocaching thing with the kids at Perry.
That's
That's
So we're going to have a whole
That
big
is
thing.
gonna be so
Awesome.
much fun.
So yeah, it's going to be a fun, exciting event, and they're going to get involved with us. And they see us as kind of the next level for FRVA and where it's going. Now, if you're a couple looking for a way to connect, it's there for you too. So do you have to be the 4 of us to be at the event? No. Any member can run an event. And they don't have to be the same. We don't have to do the same things at every event. But the 4 of us come with a wealth of information where, you know, we've been to different rallies and we can give you ideas and we could set a budget and we could help you figure out where to do the event. And if you come with us and say, hey, I want to do it at this fairgrounds and I want it to be limited to 12 families, great, it's limited to 12 families. You know, sometimes the smaller connections are the best ones out there. Would there be a fee?
Absolutely.
Yes, there'd be a fee for the rally, you know, and we'd try to make it inclusive enough so that it could cover your parking as well as your event fees. For Perry, we're going to have to do something a little bit different. If we do something like some type of kids activity, and I don't know what we'll call it, you guys have to put your heads together and figure out what we'll call it, because we can't call it some things that are already out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to make it something that's ours. But we'll probably have to charge a nominal family fee for every family that wants to participate. And so you can do a little or a lot, but we'll try to keep it affordable for everybody. So the Rolling Roots chapter, what did we say, is going to be free for the first year.
Yes.
So all you have to do is join FRVA. So that's really easy to do. You just go to FRVA, I think it's .com. It's right there. No, you can't see it. It's backwards. We'll put it in the show notes. Don't worry.
It looks forward to me.
Nope, it's all good.
It looks forward to me.
Yep, it's forward to
Good.
me.
But you know, and if you're, you know, on YouTube and seeing that, that's great. But just go to frva.com. There is a page in there that you can ask to request to become part of the chapters. The family chapter isn't on the list yet, but hopefully after next week, Danielle has assured me, and I'm going to call her out because Danielle has assured me that we're going to be able to make sure that that gets added to the list of things, because right now it's not on the list of community-based chapters.
We domicile in Florida, but we don't stay in Florida the whole year because we like to move around, right? But we did get an invite from a
Yeah.
chapter in Florida for a group that was, you know, very welcoming, and they wanted to invite us. So maybe you're listening and you don't have kids, and you're thinking, I don't have my kids with me and I don't have my grandkids with me, but FRVA sounds great. There's going to be a chapter near you or for you that fits you because it's for everyone. So you just have to find the chapter that's right for you, and maybe we're it.
Well, and you know, FRVA is more than just the history. It's about why FRVA matters today and the communities out there. And it's going to create space for families and honor the traditions of FMCA, but build a future where every RVer feels seen, supported, and then celebrated. So, thanks for joining in again this week. Don't forget to
Wait.
Oh,
Hold on.
what
hold
did I
on,
do now?
Hold on. We can't go yet. We got to tell them how to sign up for Perry,
Yes.
Georgia.
Oh,
And I
They
do
need to
want
know
to
where
say
to go
this
to get to
too,
the rally.
because when you do, yes. So you can sign up online, but I'm going to tell you that if you sign up online, you are going to have to follow up with a phone call to get into the Rolling Routes section of the park, because they don't have that on their form. And unfortunately, you can't even pay for the proper parking online either. So skip online and just call them direct. They're great people. They're nice. They'll be pleasant on the phone. They can get you all registered, get you in the right place. Tell them you want to be with the Rolling Routes family group. So that way they get you, parked near all of us. And that's going to be the easiest way to register for Perry, is by going ahead and calling.
And that number is 800-543-3622, or just dial them direct at 513-474-3622. So yeah, you can totally do that and harass them. Say, why is this not online yet? We're coming. We want to be part of this, and so it'll be an exciting time for everybody.
Now, here's another question.
Yeah.
If we sell all 25 sites, can they still come to Perry, Georgia?
Absolutely.
Can they still participate in our activities?
Absolutely. Yeah. Anybody that wants
Yep.
to participate can participate. And Full-Time Families is doing a rally the first week of March. It's like the 1st through the 8th or something like that.
Yeah.
And so if you're a rally hopper and you just love rallies, and I know people that do, you can totally come to Perry too. And so, and it may not be the same people, but if you can't get in for the, yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, Perry is so close to that. So like if you're ready to head north,
literally an hour and a half.
Yep. If you're ready to head north, Perry is a great stop for that. I have a plan, and I've run enough rallies from Quartzsite to, wherever, all over the country. But what we're going to do is we're going to plan, we'll have a chat in the Facebook group and everything, but we'll have a plan to come in together, so that when we come in like a train and they can't separate us. And so that's the whole idea. And so it'll make it so much easier. It means some of us may have to pay for a park and wait for other people to come in, and we all come in the same day. But it's something, it can be orchestrated.
Except on that note, if this is your first FRVA rally, you actually get to arrive 2 days earlier than everyone else. So we're arriving 2 days earlier because this is our first FRVA rally.
Our first
So that's something else to keep in mind. If this is, so you can arrive a couple days earlier than everyone else if it's your first one. So
Yep. It's very exciting. So, but yeah, any words of wisdom you have for people? Why would you want people to come join us at FRVA?
Oh my gosh, just come hang out
to
with
see
us.
Tasha.
For me, no. Come hang out with us, though. Build community. Like, just come be with us and do the campfires and do all of the classes, and come hang out with us at the women's luncheon. Oh my gosh, I have no idea what we're going to talk about.
Yes.
But I'm sure that it'll be a good time, because it's always a good time with the three of us. And it'll just be so good.
Well, and
I'm
if you're
so
not
excited.
at the rally, but you're in the area, come to the luncheon. You can come and join in the day activities without camping with everyone else too. So
I love
a lot
that
of people
because
don't know that there's day passes. So
Yes, there's day passes.
there are not
You
a
need-
lot of rallies that
yeah.
do that. That is so great and inclusive, and I love that.
all of the international rallies. Our first international rally was actually in Oregon. No, not Oregon, Wyoming. And we did a day pass. We literally figured out we were in South Dakota. We were an hour and a half from the rally, and we decided, okay, we'll just drive up for the day. Did the
That's
same thing from
awesome.
Perry,
Yeah.
or up to Perry, up from Florida as well. So the day passes
Yeah.
are pretty cool.
Yep. And if you're just a couple looking for a community, it's a great way to get connected. So it's
Yep.
there's all sorts of different chapters to join, and I think it's the only club that's run by the community. And so, if you don't know what that means, it basically means that there's a president, but he got elected. And so he's there because people elected him to be in that place. And so each chapter is under the president. And so basically it's kind of like delegates, and it's a great history lesson for your kids. So learning how government works. It's a little less government-y, and so a little less political maybe, but it's still a great education in what that looks like for real. And so, yeah. All right.
All right.
So what do we have to do? Like, follow, subscribe, call FRVA.
Join us on Patreon. Yep, call FRVA, reserve your spot, and we'll
gets
see
mailed
you
tomorrow.
in the spring.
And we'll put all this stuff in the show notes.
And if you missed the spring and you're waiting for summer, 250 years, we're in Missouri.
Where is it?
Sedalia, Missouri.
Oh.
Sedalia, Missouri.
Oh,
that was not a good.
Oh, Sedalia or not? I don't know if you hear him, but he's over here going, "Not Sedalia." maybe. Well, it's not really a 1-day drive for us, but maybe
it's over 4th of July.
Yeah, there you go. Jennifer will be at that one.
We'll be at that one. I think Jenn will probably be in Maine at a different rally. And so, yeah.
At some point,
I'll
we
work
have to
on
start
Bill and
going
see if we
opposite
can't make the
directions.
Sedalia one.
That'd be fun. Have Lisa and I in Sedalia. So that'd be good. So awesome. All right. Well, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and, follow Rolling Roots on Facebook. You do have to be a member of FRVA to join the chapter, and then we will verify your F number to get you into Rolling Roots. So that will be the requirement to join the Facebook group. A website, you don't need one, but we could have one up in the next year if it's going well. But I think the Facebook group will suffice for now. So it'll be a great place for us to connect and just make it happen on a regular basis. And we'll be ahead of the game because most FRVA chapters don't have their own Facebook group. So we'll be like,
that's right,
80 steps ahead of everybody else.
The cool kids.
Well, thanks, guys, for joining us tonight. And we'll see you next time on Learn to RV, the podcast.
Love what you're hearing? Subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. And while you're at it, leave us a review.